Welcome to another episode of Obscured Reality. Join your hosts, Mark and Stephanie, as they take you through a journey of the extraordinary, bizarre, and often frightening world of the unknown. Explore topics of the paranormal, UFOs, alien abduction, lost civilizations, mythical monsters, and other unexplained mysteries. Come along with us as we transcend into another dimension of obscured reality.
Welcome back to Obscured Reality. Mark and Stevie back with you. Once I find that volume switch over there, I think I found it. We're good to go.
Good job.
Man, yeah. Well, hey, another update for these aliens that allegedly landed in the backyard in Las Vegas.
Fuck it. Run it, update me.
This update's a little bit more interesting, though, and if you don't believe me, stick around. There's pictures and video with this. So previously, there was also another update on this, and that had to do with this guy, I believe Scott Roeder. He testified as an expert in a lot of highly publicized criminal cases, blah-de-blah-de-blah, right? And that's what the update was, how he was saying, you know, I study these types of things and I looked at these videos and whatever they had, whatever the deal was, and I firmly believe 100% there were aliens there and this and that, which I find amazing that he just jumps straight to definitely it's aliens, because there's literally zero evidence pointing to any of that. But even if you think that, I mean, you can't just be definitive about that unless you have proof. You know, right. It's impossible. So it was like a week later, he's now come out. There's been another article with him. And we're going to take a look at some video here. So I'm going to read the article. I'm just going to start reading, okay? Let me show you the article here, and we'll pull that up right about now. So it's from Fox News. Yeah, Fox News. So this is what this guy's saying again here. The purported aliens that landed in the backyard used some kind of cloaking device to hide from humans. A veteran crime scene reconstruction analyst believes that would be Scott Roeder. We are not going to go through the entire thing here. He outlined two smoky filters that don't match the background. He said the beings used to shield themselves from the curious family and later responding police officers. Roeder and Jim Quirk, a reporter who runs the Extraterrestrial Reality podcast and shared videos and images with Fox News, theorized that the same cloaking device hit a craft that made an unexpected landing in Sin City last year. Okay, so here's the first picture we have here. Scott Roeder, let's just see what this must be. That one that talking about the two filters. He used artificial AI and computer software to break down a short video that proves that there's movement in at least two beings. Okay, so what you see in the red circle there, that's allegedly something, I guess. Sure. Let's go down a little more.
So I did read this article. The video, when we get to it, I can't tell you how many freaking times I looped that fucker.
Yeah.
I'll give you my final opinion on that once we get to that point, but
you're damn right you're gonna. Well, let's see. But the entire family reacted to something and ran from the backyard. Their sudden frantic retreat cut the video short. But he was able to analyze the footage that they did capture. So, using different computer software and AI, Roeder created movement to show what likely happened and outlined the anomalies that he called undeniable evidence that we're not alone. Again, this happened April 30th, 2023. Man, it seems like it was like 2 months ago. Jeez, not over a year ago.
That's insane.
Yeah. So Rotor and
Wow.
Quirk alluded to a dark blur in the top hand corner,
Mhm.
which skeptics have called a shadow or a smudge, and said he believes it's a head of an alien in some kind of smoky filter or using some kind of cloaking
Mhm.
technique. So, you always hear, oh, smudge, smudge, smudge. Well, what exactly do you mean? Because if it's a smudge, it's going to move 100% exactly with that camera, right? A smudge on the lens. I could totally see it, but it's going to move with the camera, okay? This... he's demonstrating the potential movement of a blurry dark anomaly.
Okay, so
I don't know what all
pointing
this
out
crap
just real
is.
quick, I stared at that so long, and I was like,
Yeah.
what in the actual fuck is this?
I mean, if you look at the ground and everything, he's figuring out angles, like this line here going by the waist matches the line here. So I get some of that. A lot of this stuff over here, I don't know if he's trying to draw alien disc-shaped spacecraft or if he's doing something legit, but it's not helping here. Not for me.
I'm also not a crime scene investigator of any sort, so
Yeah,
maybe
well,
to someone who understands like that type of...
You and I may not be a crime scene investigator, but apparently this guy is.
Right.
So
Right.
They
Which
should
is
take
what I'm
another
saying.
look
Maybe
at
it
those
just
crime
doesn't make sense
scenes.
to us because we're not crime scene investigators. Because I know that they have they literally will well, at least I mean in NCIS. Thanks Hollywood.
He jumps straight to 100%. They're aliens. I say any crime scene he ever worked, they need to go over the evidence again.
Okay, so this video.
Let's take a look. Here's the video. Okay, it's on a loop. I'm just gonna let it loop for a bit here.
FYI,
and
this does not loop on time, and it drives me fucking insane.
We see this bottom left video, which is zoomed in from this top one, right in between them. Okay, I get the point of the outline. It's to say, hey, here it is. It's pretty evident without that, though. That outline just kind of gives you... It's almost like it's putting something in your brain, like start thinking alien, because that's kind of what it looks like, or a mantis head. And then we go to the top right, and we see in the middle here, between them, boom, the one that's in the bottom left video. But on the right, we have another one that is apparently showing up.
That one?
With the green lines and those eyes drawn in, it makes it really difficult to see what you're actually looking at.
Yes. That was actually one of my major complaints, because like I do see the blur. I do it. Like if I try really hard to ignore the green lines, I see it. But I want those green lines to go away so that I can see if I see it like that, or if it's just shadowing or whatever.
And honestly, it could be anything. I mean, I could take good photographs, but I can't tell you some of the things that might be in them that just happen to appear. However, I can tell you, it could very well be dependent on what they're using. So for instance, I have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, right? It's got the 3 cameras on the back. I'm looking at them right now. And I have little protectors for each of the 3 cameras, right? Comes in a pack of 3 of them. You got a nice little blue ring around the outside, and it's that tempered glass or whatever. You stick it on, and boom, thing stays on, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I noticed immediately? When you take pictures, you get more of a glare. You'll get a glare spot on depending where you're aiming. That does not surprise me. And it's because of that. A lot of people say they don't have the problem. And they say, no, they don't have a covering on the camera lenses. And then everyone that does complain about it has something on there. It's exactly what it is. So my point is, you have 3 people moving at least already in front of the guy taking this video. And as they move and the light's kind of crappy and you can see there's some type of bright light from behind them right there. Did you see this guy's shadow on the kid in the gray? And with all those people moving, that light's getting bounced around differently. You don't know what the hell that is up on top of the fence. If anything, it could just be an artifact because of the different reflections of the light off the people and the people that are moving. You know, um, so it's anybody's guess, but I'm with you. This little alien head, I got to see that without the green lines. And did he draw in those eyes? Because that's stupid.
Yes.
He should have done that.
Also,
just outlined it.
Just pointing out that the video on the left starts immediately where the video on the right ends, and that also irks the shit out of me because I want to have that little bit of overlap to see if I can see it in the video that's supposed to be defining the shadow that's in front of them versus the one on the fence. Like,
I don't know why the top left one you're not seeing anything over there.
I
which
know,
is interesting.
But I've also stared at this video a lot. The video on the left starts immediately where the video on the right ends, right as the head is like bloop out of scene.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it should be the full one, but
yes, because comparison.
I mean, we can easily probably go find the full one and watch it. We're not going to see anything more than we're seeing here. We're going to see less, right? We're not going to see a alien head outline. We're not going to see a thin alien neck to go with it back there. And we're not going to see little alien eyes drawn in.
Yeah, I prefer
then we'll
not
see,
to.
well, it doesn't look like shit. So he says, I think what the AI software was able to allow us to do was to determine that it was not just a shadow beyond any reasonable doubt to a degree of scientific probability. So I am on board with that. If these guys are professional in what they're doing and the software is accurate and everything, and they can prove from that these definitely weren't just shadows, I'm totally good with that. I will believe that. Fine. But again, we're jumping straight to aliens. That's the same standard that you testify in court, he said. The same standard that can send a suspect to jail for the rest of their lives. I mean, okay, whatever. During his analysis, Roeder said the blurry image that appears to peer over a large fence played bonkers with our software, reducing the pixels in the area. Quirk and Roeder speculated the same cloaking device was likely used on the craft that some believe crashed that night. Before the face-to-face confrontation between the Las Vegas family and the supposed aliens, an unexplainable streak of light
there you go.
raced across the sky. It was captured on Las Vegas.
Unexplainable streaker.
Unexplainable? I'm sorry. Humans have been seeing meteorites enter our atmosphere from the beginning of time. Well, maybe not as much as we do now, because obviously they weren't throwing a bunch of space junk up there, satellites.
Well, yes, but I kind of feel like maybe they would see more simply because they never had the light pollution anywhere and the sky was just.
But what I'm saying is,
no, I do get what you're saying.
You don't. Light pollution doesn't matter for shooting stars. Clouds, fog, all that matters, but light pollution matters for how many stars you're going to see in the sky.
That's true.
A shooting star.
I also don't see shooting stars like when we're supposed to have like the shooting star, like whatever meteorite, like fall. I don't know what they're called, but I don't see them here. Not because of the clouds or anything, but because I'm surrounded by. Because of my location. I'm surrounded by industrial, and then right outside of that is Chicago.
Well, I'm saying even without that, you could be out in the middle of the forest right there. It could be the location where on the planet you're at versus where these are coming in. It's always been a thing here.
Lucky.
I remember going camping when I was a kid up in the Sierra Mountains, and we'd watch one of those. I think it was the Perseid. I'm not sure. One of those meteor showers. Either way, doesn't matter. Shooting stars are meteorites or space junk, basically things entering our atmosphere where we see them go, and I'm saying I think they probably saw less of them then because we have so much space junk now, and half that shit's always, re-entering and burning up. So that's the point. Doesn't really matter. Shortly thereafter, Angel Kenmore called 911 and told a dispatcher he saw a tall, skinny alien creature with greenish color, about 8 to 10 feet tall, hiding behind their forklift in the backyard. Now, his description totally matches up if you're to believe this thing behind the fence is an alien, because that's tall. Its head was clearly over and possibly part of a neck. Yeah, that's tall. And he could also be off on the judgment of height, 8 to 10 feet. Maybe it was more like 7 to 9. Right. You're in a state of panic, shock. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Right.
And I'm only saying that because how high is that fence? Let's find out. But that appears to match up because you got not just a head, you got a head and part of a neck possibly, right? Police followed up on the 911 call and alluded to the light in the sky. They checked the Kenmore house, but didn't see anything. Back up real quick. Did I forget to mention? Yeah, you see in the article, they say an unexplainable streak of light. That's completely false because we know that the streak of light was most likely a meteorite, a shooting star, meteorite or space junk coming in. Probably not space junk, more likely a meteorite. But in discussing this story, we'll go with it's totally unexplainable. They didn't say that in Russia when it blew up half the country, that meteorite. My feeling is something went wrong with this craft or whatever they were in, and it had to come down and make an emergency landing, he said. That was when he was asked what he believed happened and why there was no evidence of a craft. Quote, they landed in his backyard, and while they're making emergency repairs, perhaps these alien beings are trying to stave off the pesky humans while these other aliens that we don't see are working on this craft. I mean,
how small is this craft?
Dude, you want people to get behind it, then you're making this sound really bad, I think.
I agree.
Half the stuff this guy's saying just makes this sound absurd, completely absurd to me.
Absolutely.
When it may not be. Everything we've seen from this kid and what happened, and we see the police officers' reactions and their comments when they're talking to him, they're like, no, I believe you. You look definitely
genuinely
scared. That matters. And I may believe this kid and his story in that he thinks what he saw was this. I'm fine with that as long as he's not bullshitting. I get it. It could be who knows what it is. Doesn't mean it is alien of nature. But this all goes into this didn't happen that long after this meteorite just seen across numerous states, super brightish green. You're not sitting around waiting for the right moment with a story pre-planned, ready to jump on it, waiting for that one meteorite. You'd have to be outside every night waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah. And we rarely see ones like that here.
And that's just weird, first off.
Yeah, so I believe this kid, he saw something. We can figure out how to figure that out. This is, as far as anyone should be concerned, this is the absolute end, Roeder said. All evidence that shows that we are not alone and that there is an alien presence on this planet. No. If he's referring to the videos and pictures from this kid or these kids, there's zero evidence that shows alien presence. There's zero evidence if we're just talking about this video.
I mean, unless he considers his drawings evidence.
Right. Yeah. If he's referring to this video, that's not evidence. This is from the body cam, I believe, when the cops showed up. Making the incident even stranger is how the streaking light, believed by some to be a falling UFO, seemingly disappeared when Roeder tested it under infrared vision, but an airplane didn't.
How are you going to... It's already fallen. How are you going to test something that's not...
Yeah, Roeder, what are we talking about here? Infrared vision, is he watching this video? with infrared vision? Or what's
Maybe?
he referring to? Because Rotor wasn't there, right? He's
Right.
one of these guys. Just highlight where we're at here. Who's Rotor again, guys? Let's go back to the beginning and look. So Scott Rotor, yep, that's him. He's this guy from the article. They mentioned two guys in here. I was just
He's the one who's a expert
yeah,
CSI guy.
yeah.
But he wasn't there. And like, are we talking about the video like that was taken? Because was there even a plane in the background in such a short video? Like that's or like, are they talking
Okay.
about body cam video? I'm very confused as to what video he is
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
don't know. Making the incident stranger, streaking light, believed to be some info. Yeah, I
But
don't
an
know.
airplane didn't.
I guess what he's saying is there was an airplane in there,
It
and
made an oscillating mechanical sound. Oh, wee
believed
woo.
believed by some to be a falling UFO seemingly disappeared. So, I mean, that sentence right here in and of itself is to me is just a complete problem
Hmm.
because he's saying, well, when tested under infrared vision, the it disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
but an airplane didn't. So it tells me there was an airplane in the background somewhere, right? In some portion of the video. Okay. Well, this is a meteorite. Are you saying it's probably a meteorite?
Hmm.
Are you saying you didn't see the meteorite using infrared? Looking at a video, right? You're looking at a video. You're not seeing the real thing.
Yeah.
And you have no idea how big that thing is. You can have a piece that's like 10 feet wide, right? 10 feet
Yeah.
by 10 feet come in and it's going to burn up. You're going to see it, It's going to disintegrate so quick, though. It's going to probably be one of them quick ones, just gone,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
What are you going to see with
Absolutely.
infrared?
Mm.
Exactly. That thing's at the top of the atmosphere. It's burning up. You're not going to see it. There's so much light emanating just from this thing heating up and, coming in the atmosphere. You're not, I'd question that you're going to see anything. And then you're talking about an airplane, but the airplane did show up. Right. That airplane was flying between 5,000 and 30,000 feet. I'm not surprised it showed up.
Yeah, versus, the
Makes total sense.
Hello,
So
dog.
he
Jesus
pointed
Christ.
out the steep trajectory and said it made an oscillating mechanical sound shortly after it went out of sight. Now that's from Angel Kenmore. An oscillating mechanical sound. That sounds like an airplane. If he's referring to that light in the sky, then that would be interesting. And that's one of those things where at that point I would want to talk to this kid and say, what made you think this oscillating mechanical sound came from this light that streaked across the sky? So the way he's saying it, something tells me that that sound, it when he's hearing that and seeing that light, it's just matching up, right? Like when a car drives by.
Yeah.
It matches up.
I just don't feel like you're going to hear something all the way out in the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yep. So, this is bigger than Las Vegas, Quirk said. I mean, this shows we are not alone in this world. It really doesn't show us anything other than it's, kind of maybe starting to make some people look a little crazy here, which isn't what anyone's maybe trying to do, but it's not helping. Let's see. Man, having a hard time scrolling on this. Jesus. This website, it's just not. Whatever. No doubt about it. I don't see it. This is another quote from him here. There is some sort of an alien presence here among us. What they're doing here, we really can't say. We can only speculate, but there's something here, no doubt about it. I mean, it's essentially no different than this one here. Yeah, I don't know about that. Speculation and theory, playing to Rotor's strengths and treating this incident as if it were a crime scene. Fox News asked him what's next, both of them. If what they're saying is true, and this is an untampered video, which Rotor showed why that's the case, and it's proof that extraterrestrial life exists, that would answer what, where, and when. Not really.
No, doesn't
but
really answer any of that because
yeah, you're saying what, aliens, where, in the backyard of someone's home, when, April 30th, 2023. No, that's not the what, where, when. Where are they coming from?
exactly.
What exactly are they? I mean, come on. But there's the question of why, among other unknowns that would be answered in a trial if it were a crime. Nobody gives a shit. Quote, the world of crime scene reconstruction is very remedial. Who, what, where, when, and why. Right? Roeder said. We need the why. That's how you get the full picture so you can understand the event. So we have a bullet wound and we've got a dead guy. Okay. We know that guy shot that guy. But the important thing is, why did he shoot that guy? Why are these aliens here? Who are they? What do they want? Quirk touched on his own personal theory that something went wrong with the craft. And, we already heard this.
Yep.
Emergency landing. He's really just, I mean, I can come up with probably 100 different stories as to that light being alien, and all of them are going to sound like this,
Yep. Totally agree.
They teased future releases as they analyzed videos of the incident and believe something else was missed. This is just the beginning.
Teased future releases? When did this become a fucking blockbuster?
Yeah, well, since humans became in the drama.
Yeah. This is supposed to be like a random event, not something where it's like,
well, not for these guys. They're going to
drop another
capitalize on
teaser.
it. Yeah, they're going to capitalize on it.
Of course. Shit, they're doing better of capitalizing on that than Bridgerton is doing, dropping it in 2 different fucking parts. Assholes. By the way, Netflix, screw you.
And as the case gets more attention, Quirk and Roeder said they've been getting tips and other videos about this case and other potential sightings, making this a grassroots investigation. Quirk said it really started after one of his subscribers, Julia June, believable name, pointed out the blur in the right-hand corner of the video that led to teaming up with Roeder, which led to this point. There are a lot of people involved, Quirk said. This is why people have been talking about this, and they haven't stopped talking about it for a whole year. And now we finally are able to prove scientifically that there were actual alien beings in that backyard. Number one, you didn't prove shit scientifically other than some type of blur appeared in the camera. Number two, this guy's last name is Quirk. Making up these stories?
He's getting help from a lady whose name is, what was it, June?
Julia June.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And Mr. Quirk, and don't forget Scott Roeder. He's got the normal name. I'm not making fun of you for your names. You don't get to choose. Well, you do after you're 18 if you want, but it is what it is.
It's the internet. You can be whoever you want.
Yeah. So they're claiming right here, aliens, guys. You saw it.
You saw it here first.
From Fox News. That's an alien. So repost the stuff, zoomed in on both of those without any defining lines. We know it's there now. Maybe put this next to the video so you can you know where you're supposed to be looking. But if you really want to get down to it, you see where my mouse is right here?
Yes.
Okay. Now watch it as the video moves. You see that cloud up? That's just the light. Boom, clouds up. Do it once more. Boom, clouds up. It's just the reflection of the goddamn light changing because these people are moving. Yes. And you even see it change on the wood because he's blocking some of it.
Yes.
Is that a fucking alien too?
That's immediately what I thought that was. Like the blur was just a light shadow, whatever, because they're walking. Yeah.
So, I mean, is that an alien also? Maybe? I don't know.
They have multiple light points, multiple shadows. You never know.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying is, okay, so this up here, there could really be some type of movement there. An alien, though, we're really stretching things. But, here's the thing. We got to look at people like Roeder and Quirk and see what their backgrounds are and, see what their interests are. UFOs, aliens, and how deep are they into it? Are they like us, where it's interesting? We'll cover it, but we're not going to be too judgmental on it, right? We're not going to just jump boom, aliens, or definitely not, we don't know, right?
Mm.
And see what their backgrounds are with that and what they are likely to do in situations like this. And are they prone to making outlandish claims without any evidence, saying there is evidence, saying there is proof? This is not proof of anything other than something showed up on camera. Why
Yeah.
is that? Well, who knows, But,
There's so many different
you know,
factors and anomalies.
yeah, and I want to see these guys' history and what they do know or don't know or possibly know. The reason I say that is because you're looking at this video and their claim that these are aliens, okay? You look at this whole thing that happened and they're saying they're invisible and blah, 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 blah. Well, I mean, we've heard this so many times with alien UFO stories in the past. Um, we have heard for like a decade now, and most of you've probably heard this and know a lot more about it than me, but um, you can get like really, if you can get really good infrared goggles or binoculars, something to look through, and you look up in the sky, night sky, day sky, they're everywhere allegedly. Literally everywhere, moving around. True?
Okay.
I don't know. But there's some credible people that claim it and claim they've seen, and who knows? Maybe this could be same type of thing. But
So should I just buy a set of these goggles and then take a day and
Yeah.
just stare at the sun?
It's really hard to buy into things, but when we know that, and I'll mention this again, when we know that there is a very true conspiracy theory that is no longer a theory, it's proven. What? That the government's been studying UFOs for quite a long time now. That's just, conspiracy theory, you're a kook for saying that or thinking that. And turns out, guess what?
They really
True.
were. Yeah.
So, who knows? I mean, any of this stuff could be completely true. The government's been studying it and lying about studying it and claim there's nothing there. Then why would they have been studying it this entire time like we always knew they were and not tell you they're doing it until they're completely called out in a fashion that they can't deny it anymore?
Yep.
What's being hidden?
The fact that they're still denying it is so cute.
Yeah, so now they're not denying it, but
Well,
they're doing it now, and they've admitted ATIP that Lou Elizondo was part of, but they haven't said any of the programs before that.
Yeah.
However, we know there were programs.
Just like they say that they're doing things, but like on paper, they're not really doing anything actually whatsoever.
No, well, there can't be because they got to hide it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, but low key, they're doing things. They aren't being honest as to what it is. So I don't think much has changed. Just because we know about it now doesn't mean that we actually know about it.
Yeah. So my point in saying that is simply, well, we know that all these kooks and crackheads like us who have been hearing forever and actually seeing, evidence, hearing from unfortunately anonymous people, but that are in or were in ranked positions, high up positions, and they were vetted by the people interviewing them that have said this shit's been going on. And now we know for a fact it has been. Well, they'll at least admit as far back as ATIP that Lou Elizondo was a part of. They'll admit that far back, but they won't admit the others. And we know from Lou Elizondo talking to someone else that it was happening prior to him as well, prior to him running ATIP, and all they're doing is switching the names so nobody can find this shit. And, if they're hiding that and now they're saying there's nothing to see here, nope, we find evidence of nothing, it's all prosaic, explainable shit, then why would they hide that they've been studying it for so long? My point, maybe this could be something, because it really appears from what we know to be the true side of this whole UFO thing that's going on. The true side is that, the government has been studying it. They have been lying to us and trying to make y'all look crazy for believing they're investigating UFOs when they're really not. But guess what? Turns out they really fucking have been for a long time.
Surprise.
But there's nothing to see here. It's all kosher. Then why haven't you told us? That just straight up says I'm hiding something.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
the fact that we're looking at it, not the fact that we're looking into UFOs,
Mhm.
but we know something and we're hiding it. That's what it screams.
Mhm.
So who knows with this? I can't completely dismiss it. What I can say is when read the quotes from Rotor and Corky Dirk over here, the things they say, the way it's being said is not helping the case at all. I don't believe.
No.
It sounds like they're just making more of a story, more
Oh
making
God.
fun of it or something. And I don't think they are, but it just kind of comes off like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what that is. And I'd be more inclined to think that's an alien right there than what's in that video.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the video of her. This chick. Okay, so I did see
Ugh,
that. I didn't see the
yeah.
whole like beard thing going on. What I did see is the fact that she is the size of a
She
middle
nasty.
schooler.
Yeah.
Like when they were
Nasty.
walking. Oh God, the poor comment section. The way I tripped over myself running to it. Like, yeah, no, she really wasn't like much larger than the fucking kids that she was crossing the street.
I don't know the story. We ain't getting into it now
Oh,
because
no.
I don't know.
So
I have
all
no
I know
idea
is
what the
that
hell it is. So
it definitely could be an alien. One of the small
Yeah,
ones, probably
right.
from like the Men in Black coffee scene.
Yeah, I'd definitely stay away from that alien. Yeah, so that's it. Stevie, what do you think about this whole article? Other than, obviously you've said some things already.
Yeah, I mean, I've said some things.
Not the article. These guys'
just
quotes,
in general.
what they're saying. What do you think?
I agree with you. I don't really have anything nice particularly to say, just because
If it's not nice, you can still say it in a decent way, right?
I'm struggling with that. Give me a second, I'll find it.
Be nice and say it.
No, I am.
You don't believe them.
Yeah, I don't believe him. I was
there's
gonna try
nothing
to
wrong
make
with
it a
that.
little bit longer than just 3 words, but I don't believe them.
That's 4 words. But make it longer.
Fuck off. I
What-
honestly don't believe them. There we go.
Yeah.
5 words.
Okay.
There's nothing. It does sound very much like a story, and then like they really like. I kind of was hanging on like maybe until we got to the whole testing with the infrared, and it's like, hold on. First off, what video are we testing on infrared? And like again, just the distance between an airplane versus something entering the atmosphere is just greatly different. And
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. And the whole science, like the words got get thrown around like trigger words almost, like scientific and
Yeah. And if you're going to use infrared on a video, then testing needs to be done prior to see how infrared works when you're looking at a video. Are things really going to disappear?
Yeah, I just
there's
a lot of like trigger
keywords
keywords in there just to make it sound like it was impressive, but
yeah,
I don't know. And then there's the whole they landed their spaceship in their backyard. First off, every single time we have ever heard a story of someone seeing a spaceship, it is usually quite large, and unless they have like a solid acre as a backyard in the middle of Vegas.
their backyard. We saw their backyard in the first episode we did on this, and it is a large yard. But
yes, but it's not going to be a yard that I would expect a flying saucer to crash land in. And
if you look back at every UFO story that involved a silver, shiny, disc-shaped object, they're said to be huge. It would have taken up a huge portion of that backyard, which was a big yard.
Yeah.
However, it would have taken up with the tractors there and this other crap that's everywhere. It would have taken up a large portion. And then what are you saying? They walked outside. So are you saying that if it's cloaked, you could essentially just walk through it? No. No.
Right.
Nobody's saying that. So I don't know.
There's just a lot of things where I'm like, huh? So no, I honestly genuinely just cannot believe it. Like, I'm glad that he's so gung-ho to believe that it's aliens, and I appreciate his tenacity, but
Yeah.
That's about as far as that goes.
Yeah, I'm glad they're gung-ho on looking into it and applying technology to look at it. But
apply it correctly.
I from someone who's studied crime scenes or whatever this guy's done in the past, I don't expect to hear things like the things he is saying here. He's straight up jumping to conclusions, and not just conclusions, but what most people would consider outlandish conclusions with no evidence whatsoever pointing to aliens. So, it does, I think, a disservice because there is something going on. What is it? Nobody knows. But using this type of verbiage and just jumping to these conclusions, I feel sorry for anyone who was subject to one of his cases in the past, because there's probably some screw ups, it sounds like to me. Not knocking the guy, but you can't, come on, if you're legit, you can't just jump to that. There's no evidence, and you're saying there is. This is proof.
Yeah.
No. So
Sorry.
nonetheless, it's interesting if nothing else, right?
Correct.
It's interesting. It's a current event. It's happening. It's real. These things are happening, whether it's really
Happening or not.
anything at all or nothing at all, it's happening. So there's that. So yeah, with that, we're going to get this one posted soon and back to back with the updates on this one. And we're going to move on to something else at some point soon. But my guess is this is going to be popping back up soon. So hopefully we come across it and we'll check it out.
Yep. I feel like I'm going to have to interject myself into our lineup of updates of UFOs, UAPs, and get some weird shit going again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you're not into that as much, and but the thing is, when it just keeps popping up, it's like Jesus Christ.
I mean, I actually have enjoyed watching this little story evolve. It's been interesting and fun.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I feel like I'm going to throw some weird shit in, just to throw you fuckers off.
I think you should. With that said, obviously the like, share, subscribe, do all that jazz. Comment down below. See on the monitor right there, obscured1@gmail.com. That's our email. If you have a story of your own, an obscure story, UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot, Pocahontas, I don't know. I'm not making fun. I couldn't think of anything else right off the top of my head. Thought of Pocahontas. But if you have a story, shoot us an email. Let us know the story. We'll tell it for you on here. We'll air it for you. Type story in the subject line of the email, in the body. Tell us your story. We'll keep you anonymous unless you don't want to be anonymous. That's fine. If you'd like to come on the show, it's super easy for you to do.
Oh, yeah.
We'd love to have you on the show, and you can tell your own story, and we can have a chat about it afterwards. But again, right there, obscuredr1@gmail.com. You got to start by emailing us. We have our own stories we've shared. Check out the past episodes. They're there. I think they all say personal stories. So, yeah. With that, anything else you want to add here, Stevie, before we wrap it up?
No.
All right. Good answer. With that, we're out of here. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back with us often for new episodes. Feel free to drop a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Obscured Reality.